Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In our previous video, we have discussed about relational operators. In this video, we will discuss about logical operators. To understand logical operators, we will consider this logical operator table. In Python, we have three different logical operators. One is logical AND, logical OR, and logical NOT. Let us go and understand one after the other. If you consider this table here, we are considering X and we are considering X, Y, and this is the operations that we are doing between X and Y, which is of logical AND. If you consider here, we have X, we have true in X, we have true in Y, the result will be true. We have true in X, false in Y, we are getting false, and all these things we can consider. To understand it more clearly, we will try to code. So let's say I am considering as like examples. In Python we have two Boolean values, you know, right? So we have true, true, and which is of one Boolean value, and also we have another Boolean value which is of false. So let us go through this table and understand what exactly it is. Let's say I am considering this true and true, I am getting as true. So how exactly this works is that whenever the logical AND encounters both true values, then only it will result the value as true. Let's say in Python or in any other languages, any zero value will be considered as false, any non-zero value which is considered as true. Let's understand how whether that is true or not. Let's say I am taking an integer, I am passing this true, and I am getting 1. So we can say that true can be considered as 1. I am passing integer of false. I can get this 0. So by this you can able to understand that true can be represented with 1 and false can be represented with 0. So let's go ahead and understand these logical operators. Let's say we have seen this true and true. Let's say we can consider 1 and 1. I can get 1. Right, so this is how I can able to get. Let's say whenever like this we can give 5 and 5, also still I can get 5. So let's go ahead and understand one more thing which is of true and false. What I will be getting, I will be getting false, because whenever you encounter whenever the logical AND operator encounters any one single false value, it will return the value as false. Let's say I am considering 1 and 0. What I will be getting is 0, because the true will be, whenever the execution will be started from the beginning, it will start and read this 1 and it encounters this is true. So it is go further and check what are the values that is having. If it encounters true, it will return as true. If it encounters false, it will return false. So we have considered here is true and false. Because of that reason, we are getting this 0 that is of considered as false. Let us understand by taking true, let's say false and true. So what I will be getting is still false. Let's go ahead and understand with 0 and 1, I will be getting 0. If you consider these two examples, true and false and true, in these both examples, whenever the execution started, whenever it encounters true, it keeps going further and checking is there any false value. So it can stop and return false. And if it encounters all values in AND operators will be true, at that time only it will return true, or else it will return false. Let us understand this by taking one more example. Let's say I have 2 and I have 3 and I have 4. In all these operators, what do you think the answer? So the answer is 4. So that is how this works. Let's say I have 2 and I have 3 and I have 0. Now what do you think? The answer is 0, because 2 is considered as non-zero, which is of true, and 3 is also considered as non-zero, which is of true, and 4 is also considered as non-zero, which is also true. Because of that reason, I am getting the last value as the result, which is considered as true. So that is how, if logical AND encounters all the values are true, then only it will return the true. Here we are considering this value. Because of that reason, I am getting the last value, which is of 4. If you consider this example, I am having 2 and also I am having 3, which both are these considered as true, but whenever the logical AND encounters this 0, it will be considered as false, so it was returning this 0. Let us go understand this with one more example. Let's say I have and 2 and 0 and 3. Now what do you think the answer? The answer is still 0. So whenever it encounters 0, then only it will return. It don't check the further conditions when it encounters 0. It will try to find the false value. And whenever it finds the false value, it will return false, or otherwise it will continue to check until the end of the statement or until it encounters any one single false value. That is how logical AND works. Let us go ahead and see one more thing, which is of false and false, which is of false, because in first instance itself it will identify this is false, so it don't check the further conditions, it will simply return this false itself. Let's say I am having 0 and I am having 3 and I am having 5. The answer is 0 itself. In first 0 identification itself it will return false. It don't check the further conditions, further things in the statement. Let's go and understand this OR statement. In R, whenever, let us understand it through this table, whenever it encounters at least one true value, then it returns true, or otherwise it returns false whenever it have two false values. It is vice versa to AND operators. In AND operator, whenever it encounters false, it returns false. AND operator returns true when all values in the operators are true, then only it returns true. In OR operators, it will return false when at least one true value it encounters, or otherwise it will return false when all operators, all things in the operation are of false. So let us go ahead and see this example. Let's say I have this true and I have this true, or this is operator, logical OR operator, and I have also this value of true. What I will be getting is true. In the first instance itself, when it identifies true, it will return true. Let's say I am having true or I am having 3. It will return 2 itself because in the first instance itself, it identify a true value. Let's say I am having 0. That we will discuss through this false or true. In here, what do you think the answer is? The answer is true. So it when it encounters false, it still try to check is there any at least one true value, and going further it will identify one true value which is of true and it returns that value. Let us understand with some numeric variables. Let's say I have in this 0, I have this 2. The answer is 2. After even identifying this 0, it will still go further and check this 2. Let us go understand more clearly. Let's say I have 0, I have 2, or I have 3, or I have 5. So even though I have these many values, still the answer is 2 itself, because whenever it identifies one true value, that's true value itself it will return. It don't check further conditions, whatever the condition that is mentioned in the statement. It try to identify one single true statement. That's it, no further checkings. Let's say I am having this 2 and or 0 or 3 or 0 or 4. What do you think the answer is? The answer is still 2, because it first instance itself it identifies the true value. Because of that reason it returns true. Let us go understand further more combinations. We have seen true or true, false or true. Let's see true or false. What I will be getting, you guessed it correct. I am getting true, because in the first instance itself I am getting true. One more instance we have is false or false. So in this instance also I will be getting false, because in this whole statement we don't find any one single true value. Because of that reason it was returning as false. Let's say I consider with an example 1 or 2 or no, not this, like 1 0 or 0 or 0. and in the in the last instance the 0 value is 0, so because of that reason I am getting this value as 0. So this is about logical OR operator. We have one more logical operator which is of logical NOT, which is of vice versa. Let's say when I give 0 it will give 1, when I give 1 it will give 0. Let's say I am giving not true, the answer is false. When I give not false, the answer is not not FALC, false, the answer is true. Like this, it will give the opposite values. Let us consider with numeric example. When I give 0, it will give 1. When I give 1, it will give false, because 1 is considered as true. The opposite of true is false. Because of that reason, I am getting false. When I give, let's say 5, I am getting false. When I give any string, I am getting false. Like this, any non-zero value if you give, that will consider as true. That not value is true, to opposite of true is not, for not is false. Because of that reason I am getting false here. I hope you understood all these operations of logical and, logical or, and logical not. If you don't understand any not clearing of this concept, I suggest you to go through this video, and I have explained it clearly so that you can able to understand. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video interesting, hit the like button and subscribe for more, and click on the notification bell icon so that whenever I uploaded any video you will get the notification. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.